Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. I want us to come today to the book of Genesis chapter 8, beginning with verse 1. And this is what I want you to see. There are times when God starts something and we think, well, God just snaps his fingers and everything happens. You know what? God can do that. But sometimes God starts a process. He doesn't do it instantly. He starts a process. A good illustration of that would be, we lay hands on the sick and the sick shall recover. There's a difference between healing, an instantaneous miracle, and a recovery. Now, let me walk you through here in Genesis chapter 8, beginning with verse 1. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and livestock with him in the boat. Now notice, God didn't just remember the human, God remembered the rest of his creation. He sent a wind to blow across the earth, and the floodwaters began to recede. The underground waters stopped flowing, and the torrential rains from the skies were stopped. So the floodwaters gradually receded from the earth. After 150 days, exactly 5 months from the time the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. 2.5 months later, as the waters continued to go down, other mountain peaks became visible. After another 40 days, Noah opened the window and he made in the boat and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the floodwaters on the earth had dried up. Now notice, sent a wind, closed the sources of water, stopped the rain. Water began to recede over a period of time. Now, some of you need to realize that when God begins to do a miracle in your life, sometimes it's instant, sometimes it's a process. When God begins to bring a financial deliverance to your family, sometimes it's a process. It happens a piece at a time. Now, the reason I say that is sometimes in our impatience, we think that God doesn't care. Sometimes in our impatience, we think that God isn't answering our prayers. He is answering your prayers, but sometimes God chooses to use a process and not an instant miracle.